Hello, my name is Zaki Dejani, and I will be walking you through my presentation, the effect of gasoline prices on automobiles. Alright, let's dive right in. Here we have a supply and demand curve for gasoline. I have two examples set up on this one slide right here. I have P1 and P2. Let's say that we have a price of P1. As you can tell, it is higher than the equilibrium price, which I have written as EP. Since it is higher than the equilibrium price, what will happen is that there will be a surplus. People won't buy it because it is too expensive. And then I have example number 2, P2. And if that's the case, we experience a shortage in the market. And the reason being is because the price is lower than equilibrium. So this is a good deal. Alright, so what happens if there's a shortage or a surplus? Well, usually what happens is the battle of supply and demand, they kind of work themselves out until we reach a market clearing price, also written here as EP or equilibrium price. Okay, so in this example we have an increasing demand in gasoline. For this example, let's say the price of sport cars and pickup trucks, let's say that we get some sort of subsidy, right? Gasoline and pickup trucks are complements. So what happens? Okay, this is what happens. We get an increase in both price and quantity. As you can see right here from P1 to P2, price increases as well as quantity. And then, as you can see, we find a new equilibrium. Example, California. We have notorious tax rates on gasoline. Let's say that they chose to increase the taxes. What would happen is, more likely than not, it would come out of the pocket of the consumer rather than the pocket of the supplier. So they will increase their prices to match their previous levels of profit until a new equilibrium is met. And usually there's a surplus until then because prices are a little higher than what people are used to or want to pay. Alright, so here we have an increase in price but a decrease in quantity. Okay, and then we would have a surplus until the new equilibrium is met, as we previously discussed. Okay, here we have the demand for electric and motor vehicles due to gasoline prices. Let's say that the price of gasoline increases. What happens to the demand of motor vehicles? Since motor vehicles depend on gasoline and the increased price of gasoline, people don't want a motor vehicle, and the idea of having an electric vehicle becomes more viable and becomes a better option. And the reason being is because it doesn't need gas, and gas is too expensive, right? And this is a problem that we suffer from today, and this is an example that is very relative. And this is what we call a negative relationship or an inverse relationship. So what would happen? We would get an increased demand for electric cars because we don't want to pay for that increased price in gas. Or we get a decrease, as you can see here, in demand of motor vehicles. So we would get a decrease in both price and quantity. And here we get, for electric vehicles, price and quantity would increase. And that is it. That's the end. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed.